Hi, my name is Cynthia, and I'll be giving you a quick library instruction for your PTA 220 class. We will be going over the PICO project, and so that will cover how to create a PICO question, and then also how to use the library databases to find a journal article for answering your PICO question. So we'll get started. You'll see that I am on My Heartland, and this is the easiest way to get to the library website. You'll see the library tab and click on it. And we have some quick links over here on the left-hand side. This will take you to Email a Librarian, and you can go ahead and email us a question. You can also chat with us in real time, send us a text, or give us a phone call. There's also a link to make a research appointment with the librarian, links to our research guides, and other info about services that we provide. The other important page to note is the Research tab. So we're going to select this. And these drop-downs will give links to all of our databases. Under Books and Media, we have a link to the library catalog, as well as R2 Digital Library. This is a great new resource that provides ebooks for the health science subjects. So I'll open that up so you can see what it looks like. And you can browse by discipline as well as practice area, or use the search box to look up specific topics. I definitely recommend that you check this out and kind of explore what's available. We also have streaming media and links to article databases. These are organized alphabetically. And then as well, there's a link to Noodle Tools, which is a citation generator, and this FAQ will show you how to create an account. Additionally, we also have another link for research appointments and info about book pickup and our virtual hours. So the next thing we're going to open is the research guides. We have class research guides and subject research guides. So I'm going to click on subject. And this will take me to this page that has all different kinds of resources. You'll see here that there's a subject guide. You'll see that there is a subject guide for physical therapist assistant. So I'm going to open that. And this is a guide that has been tailored for your program. Basically, we did the work for you to find the resources that will best fit your research so that you don't have to second guess what database to use. So I'll quickly go over these tabs. We have the Get Started page, which will link to library resources like making a research appointment, sending us a question, and also the tutoring services available. Then we have Find Articles. And these are the library databases that are used most often by students in your program, as well as some science databases that are outside the college, such as PubMed and PICO. We have links where you can find books, so we have the library catalog, as well as some sites with free ebooks. We have the steps for evidence-based practice, professional resources, health websites, reviews for the PTA exam, the levels of evidence hierarchy, which we'll look back on in a second, how to analyze your data, an overview of PICO, and then also some info on citations. Let's go back to create a focused research question with PICO to cover how you would formulate a PICO question. So this acronym helps you remember the components of a focused research question. It's asking you to identify the key problem of a patient and what treatment you'd consider, alternative treatments, and then the outcome that you would like to avoid or promote. And we have this graphic that again asks some questions to help you identify each component of PICO. And these links will take you out to different tutorials and worksheets that are also helpful. And then these links will give you definitions and synonyms. So I think what could be helpful is if I show you an example of a PICO question and how to formulate it. So I'm going to pull up a Word document. Here's my example. The situation is that you are working with a recent stroke patient who is having balance issues and you are considering using virtual reality in their therapy. So let's go through and answer each component of PICO. So for our patient or population, it's patients with a recent stroke and balance issues. Our intervention is virtual reality. The comparison is no virtual reality. And the outcome is improved balance. So then we'll form this into a question. In recent stroke patients, how does virtual reality affect or improve balance? Now that we have our question, we need to start thinking about what keywords we might use to find articles that can help us answer. So I think that I would search for stroke, virtual reality, and potentially improve balance, or maybe even effect. Okay, let's go back to our subject guide. Now I'm going to open the Find Articles page, and let's start with CINHAL. So I'll click on this, and as long as you are logged into your Heartland account, or if you're using the internet on campus, you should be automatically logged in and have access to CINHAL. All of the EBSCO databases, this is the logo, will function the same way. So if you wanted to search in Medline, HealthSource, or HealthSource Consumer, you would use the same method of searching. Okay, so you'll remember that some of the keywords I was thinking of were stroke, virtual reality, and even improved balance. So let's start with stroke and virtual reality. When you're searching in databases, you can't use full questions because the databases search for words. So if I typed in this full question, it would also pull up results that have the keyword recent, how, does, affect, etc. And it would just not be specific, and it would bring up way too many sources to be able to manage, which is why we're pulling up keywords that are more specific and have to do with the topic we're researching. I would also recommend that you limit your results to full text so you can make sure that you have articles that you can actually access. It might help to also narrow it down to peer-reviewed. So we'll go ahead and search. One more thing I also want to point out are these operators. So we have and, or, and not. And indicates that you are searching for the first keyword and the second keyword. Or means that you're searching for the first or the second, but not necessarily both. And not excludes the second keyword. Okay, so you'll see that we have 204 results that match these two keywords. Another thing that I can do is I can limit my search results by publication date. So let's say that you are looking for articles that were published in the last 10 years. This is updating, and now we have 174. Okay, so we can look at our search results. These are the article titles, and I'm just skimming to see if I can find a title that addresses my outcome, which is improved balance. Okay, so I see this article. I'm going to click on it. This is titled The Effects of Robot-Assisted Gait Training Using Virtual Reality and Auditory Simulation on Balance and Gait Abilities in Persons with Stroke. So if I go back to my question, okay, so it addresses recent stroke patients, it addresses virtual reality, and also addresses the effect or improved balance. So this looks like it could be a great fit. So you see here that there's an abstract, which is just a summary of the article. So this is always great when this is included because you can quickly read this and see if the article is actually relevant for what you're searching for. I'm going to assume that this article is relevant just for the sake of time. And if I wanted to read further, I have access to the full text PDF, and I'll click on this. And this will show me the full article. And I'll be able to read it and summarize it, evaluate it, etc. I can download it using this icon right here. And let's say that you wanted to save this article to read for later. On the right side, there is this permalink. And if I click this, it will give me a permalink that I can copy and paste and email to myself. I could also send myself a direct email. I just recommend that you use the permalink because if you use the URL at the top of the page, it's not going to save the article. It will just give you an error. You can also get a citation for the article by clicking this page icon, and you'll see it says Cite. And these are all the different citation formats. If you're using APA, you can just copy and paste this citation. I just recommend that you double check with the APA guidebook to make sure that all of the required information is included and in the correct order. Okay, I will go back to my result list, and I can continue to look at what other articles appear, or I could also change my search terms. Like if I wanted to look at balance issues, I could search for that and kind of see what else comes up. If you're having issues finding articles that relate to the keywords that were included in your PICO question, you might want to consider thinking about different synonyms. Or another thing that's really helpful, so if I open this, these major subjects and minor subjects help organize what the article is about, and they are underlined and in blue text, and this means that they link out. So if I were to click on, let's say virtual reality, this is going to take me to results that are also tagged with the subject virtual reality. And so you'll see that the subject of virtual reality is a search term, and then I could add something within that. And I can like narrow my field if I was looking at an exact subject heading or a publication or text. And so I could add the keyword stroke. So this is going to search for subject headings of virtual reality and the keyword stroke. So any articles that are tagged with virtual reality and are about strokes. So I'll search. And so we'll see that we have some articles that match the search terms. Here's another article that could be useful. But actually you see that this is not held locally, so I'm going to go back and just make sure that under my filters I have selected full text. And again, if I wanted to filter my publication date to the last 10 years, then I can go ahead and do that as well. And so I have another set of search results. I'm also going to show you PubMed because that is set up a little bit differently. So I'm going to go back to the Articles tab in the subject guide and select PubMed. So this is the search bar. And if you select advanced, you get more options. And so you'll see that they also have search terms. You can also filter your field. So you can do all fields, author, let's see, journal title if you had that, major topic or subheading, text word, title. I'm just going to go ahead and just keep it open-ended, say all field, and I will use the same search terms that I used in CINHAL. So we have stroke, and then I select add, and I will add virtual reality. And these are where you can change your operators and or not. And you'll see in the query box that it has structured it as stroke and virtual reality. Then I can select search. Again, we have some filters over here. I'm going to select free full text to make sure that I can get it. So we have 474 results. And I can go ahead and filter some more. So I can filter by publication date, so last 10 years. I can also filter by article type. So I could choose books and documents, a clinical trial, meta-analysis, etc. I'm going to leave it open-ended. I don't necessarily need a specific type of article. I just want to see what's out there. Okay, so I'm actually interested in this second search result, virtual reality for stroke rehabilitation. I'm going to click this, and you'll see that the abstract has a little bit more info than the other one. And with PubMed, you can also email this link to yourself so you can get the permalink. You can also get the citation. And you can change the format using these arrows. So if you needed APA, you have your citation here, and again, just double check that it's correct. To get the full text of the article, you would click full text, and you should be able to get the full article right here, and then you can go ahead and print the page if you needed to read it in print. Okay, so I'm going back to the subject guide, and now I'm going to click on Review and Assess Research Studies. So this is a graphic that shows you just the different ways that you can evaluate information. And this is called Levels of Evidence Hierarchy. And you'll see that at the bottom we have opinions of authorities and reports of expert committees. And as you go higher, you have like different kinds of studies. And then the level 1 has all the different ways that I guess evidence can be its strongest. And the breakdown again is under here. And there's also this chart that kind of shows the pros and the cons for each type of study. We also have this info on the SIFT method, which consists of 4 moves that can help you distinguish fact from fiction. So if I was looking at my article that I had found in PubMed, I can go through and I see here that we have search methods as well as data collection and analysis, and you can kind of see what kinds of trials they did and what types of data collection, and go to this level of hierarchy and kind of see where it fits in and determine how credible this resource is. Same with the article that I found in CINHAL. So we have our background here, but we might have to look at the full text and kind of read through to see what information we can glean. So we have our intro here, but if we go down, we'll see methods and some charts and results as well. And so that will help you to find the information that you need to review and assess your resource. So that's the quick library instruction. If you need further help, definitely don't hesitate to shoot us an email or chat with us, or schedule a research appointment so that we can help you one-on-one find some resources. Again, my name was Cynthia, And I hope that this helps you. Have a great one.